You are listening to Finessing the Essay, a podcast where New Design High School students share their stories about crafting their personal essays for their college applications.
Welcome. And today's guests, we have...
My name's Lucas Lee. I'm a junior at New Design.
And...
I'm Lexy Frayanos. I'm also junior at New Design, yes.
A New Design High School in the building, 11th grade representing. We're here to talk about your personal essays for college, right?
Yep.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear what your story's about and can't wait to hear how your experience has been through this process. So let's just jump in. Lucas, can you just really quickly summarize what your story's about?
Yeah, my personal statement or college essay is mostly about me and my journey to America and like how it emotionally and mentally affected who I am and who I am today as a person.
When did this happen?
It was like back when I was like 6 or 7 years old, so
Okay.
back when I was like very impressionable.
All right. So you've been here quite a bit,
Yeah.
right? But do the details still stick with you when you were retelling the story?
In terms of like very imagery details, I only remember like some fragments, but I can depict like the important moments, like having to say goodbye to my family in like the airport, like taking the car ride and exiting the plane, stuff like that.
All right. Lexi, can you tell us what your story's about?
Oh, okay. It's a lot more silly, I guess. It's about how like tabletop role-playing games helped me like overcome my like anxiety and like got me to socialize more, I guess.
That is amazing. Sounds like both of you have stories that really kind of you learned something from, right? Maybe a lesson. Can you tell us, if you could summarize, like, in particular important to you, like, what did you learn after everything's said and done? What's that final lesson? Go ahead, Lucas.
In terms of like impact of my character, I think the story like really resonates with my whole being because, well, saying goodbye is like easily the most like just as embarrassing as painful as like saying hi to a person the first time. So saying goodbye to like people who you've known since birth is insane. So, and I think I like.
How did it change you? Like now that you've had that experience, and we're talking years removed, how has that, how do you look at the world differently, or do you do anything more specifically?
I think it was like back in my hometown, I was more of a troublemaker because everyone I knew was there. Everyone my parents knew was pretty much there, so I could like roam freely. But now that the world is like much bigger and I don't actually know everyone, I had to like grow a sense of maturity and responsibility for me, myself, and my family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess moving literally all the way around the world, having to learn a new language, new customs. You couldn't just be that kid anymore.
Correct.
All right. Lexi, you talked about how your experience, particularly with tabletop games, helped you overcome anxiety.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Oh, okay. So I guess I talk about how like I guess specifically the or like the role-playing aspect helped me, I guess, like figure out my identity more, because I feel like before then I felt sort of like everybody else had it figured out about like what they were, like what their personality was and things like that, and I felt like I didn't have the same, I guess, social experiences as them. So I guess put into a more like I guess like safe, controlled environment where it's sort of like I'm just like embodying a character. I don't need to like be a certain I don't know what the word is, but the point is like where I'm like making up the character. I feel like that like helped me I guess learn more about like socializing in a safe environment, I guess, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I think it feels like it removes. There's not so much pressure because it's not necessarily you, right? It's not about you, but it is about a character, and that character's obviously going to like pull from you. No one's going to judge that character, so it gives you a little more confidence, right?
Yeah.
To like kind of affirm, well, that's actually you. Is it actually you, the character? That's phenomenal. Um, all right, next question. A little bit about the process of creating these essays. Um, how long did it take? And did you have any initial ideas besides this before you started? Like when you started, did you know you were going to do this, or were there some other stories you were also considering?
Well, considering other stories, I was gonna like write one about my favorite TV show, Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
a very famous one that's like pretty much known all across the world. And that didn't really work out because I didn't know like which subject to touch upon and what amount of information to get because like you're limited to 500 to 650 words on
Yeah.
college essays, and I knew that if I was gonna write about Dragon Ball Z, it would be like way more than that.
You have way more to say about that than your own personal life story.
Yeah.
Relatable.
Yeah, is that a similar experience for you?
Kind of. Not for Dragon Ball, but like just generally relatable, I guess.
Yeah. Did you have any other ideas that you were going to write that you're considering writing about, Lexi?
Kind of. I guess originally I wanted to write like, I don't know, a funny story just because I felt like, I don't know, that was what I'd like written for my first one. But I think like the only idea that like I actually wrote a significant amount for was the one that I ended up going with.
And what was the process like? How did it start? Like once you chose your topic, what was the first thing you had to do?
Once I like finally decided on my like the topic of coming to America, I wanted to like I didn't really focus more on the hook that like really captivates my reader, but like shows how this moment in my life really like how should I put this? Like I used a lot of imagery to start off, and like I want to quite literally like use words that made my reader like think of the world that I'm trying to create with words.
I just want to clarify. So did you use the word hook?
Hook, like a not a literal hook.
No, but you did use the word hook, right?
No, I
Okay.
didn't use the word hook. No.
Okay. So you jumped in by describing the event with
Yeah.
as much detail as you could.
Yeah, I described my like the area what the area looked like and what it like how it felt to me when I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Okay. Well, how did you start?
Wait, me?
Alexa?
Me. Sorry.
Okay.
Uh,
Did you outline? Did you, did you just like write a rough draft and not
I
worry
guess-
about it?
I guess my creative process was kind of like staring at the blank Google Doc for like 2 hours, and then when I finally came across like a good idea, I just kind of like I guess like wrote in like a stream of consciousness style and was like, okay, I'll edit this later, and I just like wrote and just like, yeah, I just wrote a lot, and then
So
I
after
haven't
those
finished
2
everything,
hours,
to be
what was it that it feels like you had some inspiration, or
Yeah.
did you know like what was it? An entry point?
it was kind of like actually, wait, can you? I'm sorry. Okay.
So it took you 2 hours. So you sat there for 2 hours staring at the page. What changed? Like, how did you start writing? What was that spark?
I think okay. So like while I was staring, I guess I was thinking about possible topics, and like while I was thinking, I guess I thought about I thought about the like the general like hobby that the story would be about, and I thought like, okay, what is the general problem that this hobby fixed for me, and what was the origin of that? And I tried to think to myself, like I tried to like go back to the very beginning of my life in my mind and think like, how does like from the very beginning of my life, how does that tie to what I'm like the thing that I'm writing about in the essay?
Oh, I love it. I appreciate it a lot because it is about kind of like having to take a step back, right? And like go back to the beginning because you need to know some more details before you can get to the end, right? Excellent. So essays are done. Are you happy with the way it turned out?
Well, in terms of like 100% completed, no. I would say like I can like include more details in like certain areas, like when I first landed in America, because I kind of like breezed through that, And in terms of my vocabulary, I think I can like use more vocabularies that have like better connotations that better resonate with the world I'm trying to describe.
Okay. All right. Are you done? It's finished?
I think I kind of made it seem like I'm finished, but mine is like almost completely unedited. I still need it peer reviewed.
okay,
Like
yeah.
it's
The
it's not very
story's on
good.
the story's on paper, but now you need to like really refine the writing, the
Yes.
punctuation, the grammar, the usage, and make sure it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep, correct.
All right, that's phenomenal. All right, we're coming to the tail end of this episode. I have a few more questions because I really have a feeling that the insight you guys can share with this particular group of questions will be very helpful for other juniors out there who are going through the college application process. Dun, dun, dun. How confident do you feel with this process? I guess maybe when you first started, were you scared about the process? And now, do you still feel the same way? Has that changed?
In terms of confidence, I'm like a little bit in between, like not confident and a little confident, because what a college application means is like essentially you're basically selling your academic life to whoever is in the office, like going through like tens of thousands of papers that are like most likely similar, or I don't want you to doubt yourself, but like most likely better than yours. But I think this,
So it's been a little challenging
yeah,
in terms of not feeling confident, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
you feel
very
like,
challenging.
oh my God, there's thousands of applicants. What, I'm sure some are better. So those are the feelings you're having about this process.
yeah. And in terms of like thinking about like, oh, I think they're better than me. Some are like probably better than me. Can I like do the bare minimum? And I feel like you don't want to aim for the bare minimum. And I think you should like try your best in like every part of your college application, like your activities, what makes you you, what makes you unique, and especially your college essay, because like you most likely heard from before, because the college essay is like the only thing in the college application that you can actually express your ideas freely without having like restraints, except for the word amount.
I hear in your answer just sort of like advice.
Yeah,
And it sounds like it's not just the essay. It's like you have to actually start embracing like your passions, your excitement, getting involved way before the college process,
right.
right? So that you have a resume of activities, of, hobbies that you can point to.
Yeah, and when choosing activities, I don't recommend like just like choosing what like just like make hold on for activities, right? I don't recommend doing like just like taking 4 to 5 activities on your junior or sophomore year. I want like you want to really scour the internet and see what activities or internships even like resonate with who you are as a person. Like, do you like for example, if you want to do like gaming, for example, you want to like put yourself out to like the gaming world and what it truly means to be a gamer, and
I'm sorry. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
It's okay.
and take like internships about communication, because communication when being a gamer is like very important.
Lexi, how has this process been for you? You confident? Not confident? How have you grown through the process?
I guess I don't know exactly when I started, like probably like late sophomore year. I think I started off not confident and like kind of like avoidant, I guess. And I'm still not confident, but I'm less avoidant, I think. Like I'm I'm not confident in like that I'm going to like, that I'll like be the best at like, selling my academic life. But
What advice would you give yourself if you could go back in time?
I have actually no idea. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So, coming to the last question, and let me just start off by saying thank you guys for being so communicative, being so open with the experience of writing this essay, telling us about your story, being honest about your feelings about the process. I'm sure Your stories are more than excellent and will get you into a good university or college. What are you looking forward to next year, assuming you find yourself where you're at, college?
Next year, I'm just excited to like speak to a college counselor in general because I never really had the idea to like express what colleges are like really about, except for like a study zone where you can like truly explore your interests without much limit. But I want to like know more than that. I want to prepare myself for what can I get out of college except a bachelor's degree or master's degree.
It's like, what do you want? What do you want to learn?
Yeah, like what do I want to learn except the obvious like major and stuff like that.
You, Lexi, what are you looking forward to in college?
In college or in next year?
Well, good question. Yeah, what are you looking forward to next year? It may not be college, right?
No, but like next year we still have high school.
Correct.
I'll fix yours in post. What are you looking forward to in college?
Okay. I think. I guess. Well. I mean, I guess it depends on what college I'm going to. Like, I'm definitely not going to do one that's out of state. I just don't want to leave. But I think depending on whether it's like further away from where I live, where like I have to take a big commute, or if it's like close to New Design, or like it'll be one that anybody at New Design will go to. I think like it'll probably like affect I guess
whether
like,
you know someone or not.
Yeah.
Where you're at.
Yeah. Like if there's at least like one person who like I knew from New Design that goes to the same college as me, I feel like that'll make it feel more grounded to me because like okay, there's one other person who's like having the same experience and like has the same starting point as me. Yeah. But like if there's nobody else, then I feel like I'll be kind of like oh my god, what do I do?
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that reflection. It's very, very important. Any last thoughts?
No, not more.
I don't think so.
Well, thank you guys.
Yep.
Thank you for like hosting. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You have been listening to Finessing the Essay, a Spark Campus Studio production.